Beep, 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 beep. Morning all. Jester here. Right, okay, so number of important updates that I need to tell you about before I tell you about the Irish Muslim Council, because I'm rather pleased with them this morning. One of my warrior teachers sent this to me. It's exciting. Here we go. Right, okay, so first, IPSO. Now, for those of you that don't know, that's the bods that tell journalists what to do. You know, guidelines, that sort of thing. And we know from all of what's been happening that they constantly misreport people who are, trans-identifying males as if they're women. She raped, she did, yeah, right, which we know is an absolute bloody nonsense of the first order. So now you've got the chance to tell them, because IPSO are having a consultation, right? Anybody can complete it. It's not difficult to do. So that's important, right? So I'm going to put the link to the consultation downstairs on Dennis's original tweet, because Dennis has sent me this. Was it a tweet or Facebook? Whatever it was. Anyway, I'll stick that down there as well. So it's absolutely important. We can all do this, right? Even those of you that are, oh, it's all scary, or I'm sat on the bench, or I'm a gay man, I don't know what's going on. Or, it doesn't matter who you are. Go and fill this out and tell IPSO that we don't want them reporting men as women, that reporting should take place based on sex. And they shouldn't be calling rapists and idiots she. So you can all do that, okay? You can all do that. There's no reason why anybody can't do that. So that's the first thing. Put that down in the doobries, right? IPSO Consultation. Secondly, big conference coming up in Texas. Big conference. I'm going to be there by the visuals. Not going. Flying? No. But I'll be on the visuals, so you can see me on the visuals on the conference. So big conference coming up in Texas, so I'll put that in there as well. Thirdly, we have the petition to make clear that sex in the Equality Act means sex. So that's a petition that will get the government to do it, and we need to get to 100,000. Right, so it's absolutely vital that you sign this if you haven't already. Let's get sex clarified in the Equality Act. And then finally another petition, which is to have the GRA repealed. So that's really the, I suppose, the most important bits and bobs that I wanted to tell you today. Because, it was International Women's Day and all that, and it takes a minute to sign these petitions. So please, if you can do. IPSO Consultation, that'll take you more than a minute, but do it. IPSO Consultation, all right? What was the other thing? Petitions. Okay, do those and go and have a look and see what's going on with the conference in Texas. That's it for the announcements, apart from become a warrior teacher, please. We need more people coming on. Warrior teachers, buy me coffee, Substack, the usual. Now, let's have a look and see what's happening in Ireland, because there's something interesting that's occurred in the wee Emerald Isle. I love it. It's a beautiful country. So one of my warrior teachers has sent me a letter from the Muslim Council, the Irish Muslim Council, which was released on the 7th of March 2023. And it's very interesting. I imagine the wokies in Ireland are going to be having a fit this morning. The Irish Muslim Council supports the position of the Catholic Primary Schools Management Association about the teaching of gender identity issues in primary schools. The Irish Muslim Council believes it is not appropriate to teach primary school children such a complex and contested topic, particularly when there is a lack of scientific consensus about the best way to treat children with gender dysphoria. Now, anybody who watches me will know I don't think there's such a thing. So, it's okay, but I don't think there's such a thing. I think it's just body dysmorphia. It can happen to people with all sorts of things. Knees, for example. Right, the Irish Muslim Council believes every child in primary school should be supported, respected, and treated with consideration. I've got a problem with the word respected. It should say supported and treated with consideration. You don't need the word respected in there, because putting the word respected in implies that there is something to respect in a child claiming a trans identity. There's not. There's something to fear. It's a safeguarding issue. We think it is unacceptable to teach children about gender identity under the pretext of teaching them about diversity. You've got to remember that what they're doing is they take the template, they put it across everything. It's not just in PSHE, it's on everything. Even in maths. Johnny's got two apples and Mary's got 3 apples. Johnny is a trans child. How many apples have they got together? It's that sort of thing. So it'll be hidden everywhere. And I do apologise now because I have to try and protect some names. Sheikh Dr. Umar Al-Qadri, chair of the Irish Muslim Council, said the Tawseech should focus on solving the health crisis, the housing crisis, and many other challenges we face as a nation. The Irish Muslim Council share the concerns of the TSPMA and believe it is not appropriate to cover this topic in primary schools. The number of children in Ireland who are questioning their gender identity is increasing, but so too is the number of detransitioners who regret steps they took to socially, medically, and surgically transition. We believe the topic of gender identity should be dealt with the utmost of caution, particularly when it comes to children. Interesting that, particularly when it comes to children, they're saying the utmost of caution. It should be treated with the utmost of caution at all times. But personally, I just think it's simply be treated with the utmost of derision as much as possible. Okay? This is a move. Now, I'm going to have to drop them an email and say thank you, right? And what I would like to make note to everybody is, please note, this is the Muslim Council. They have in no way mentioned, lambasted, or said anything about people's sexuality. We must be careful here now, folks. As the fight intensifies, and as we see things happening from the right, which we do now, we know this, it is absolutely vital to be sure that what we are targeting is the ideas, the ideology. Okay, that's what we're targeting. Now, I might take the piss out of somebody, but the ideas and the ideology is what we're targeting. And it strikes me here as the Irish Muslim Council understand that perfectly. Gender, identity, ideology, and queer theory have nothing to do with sexuality. That's the message that needs to go out. LGB without the T. The T have got their own problems, which they can sort out themselves. They don't need gay people to do that. All right, there's enough cross-dressing middle-aged men with power to do that. They can deal with themselves. Nothing weak about them at all, believe me. So that just leaves us with people that have got body dysmorphia. Well, if you get the LARPing men who want tits out of the queue, it might be easier for them to get the help they need so that they can live their life as best they can. I never will anymore, never will I say that transition is ever a good thing. We now know what the damage is. The longer term reports from Sweden and Finland, the issues around childhood, the research and the information that we've now got means that I can never condone transition in a social format for children. Ever. What men want to dress as, I don't mind, as long as they're not practicing their fetishes at work, and as long as they keep it in their bedrooms when it's sexual, which of course they'd have to admit it was. So it's going to take a while to socially get this gone, but sending people to Coventry is a good idea. That works. That starts. And that letter to HR. There is a person carrying out a fetish in our office. I don't consent. Be brave to do, wouldn't it? But, for starter case. You've got it. You've got the protection there legally. Poke the bear, says the Chester. Don't come to me if you lose your job. I've got no sympathy for you. Right, so there we go. Okay. IPSO Consultation. Couple of petitions for you to sign. Muslim Council of Ireland, brilliant. Coming out the door, coming out the gate there, fighting. But again, I'll remind you, interesting, didn't mention sexuality once. Well done, Muslim Council of Ireland, well done. I think that's brilliant that an organisation that represents so many people has made very clear their position on gender identity ideology. And by default, of course, queer theory. Okay, that'll start us off for today. Go well, good peeps, go well. I'm off to work. Ta-ra! It's Tuesday, it's my work week. See you later.